All right, so I posted a video of this progression a little while back, and I got a lot of requests to actually dive in and take a look at it. So really quick, let's review that progression. Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kellman, and I'm here to teach you everything that I know about modern jazz piano. Today we're going to be going over how I created the progression that you just saw and why it works. We're going to be looking at some of the non-functional modern harmonic movement that is happening within the progression. We'll also take a look at the melody on top and how that's helping things flow as well. But first, if you're new to the channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button and hitting the bell so you don't miss any more videos just like this one. Also, really exciting announcement, this keyboard that you see right in front of you that I can very easily just lift up here and place back down is called a Piano de Voyage. You might have even seen me do a review video about it not too long ago. Now, I love this thing so much that I actually got in contact with the team there about doing a giveaway, and I'm very excited to announce that when I hit 100,000 subscribers, we are going to be giving away a Piano de Voyage completely for free, which is valued at over 1,000 euros. So, if you're interested in entering that contest, all you have to do is leave a comment on this video or any of the videos leading up to the point where I hit 100,000 subscribers. But at the end of the day, the final result will be completely random. I will have a friend draw the name of a commenter, and whoever it is, we will leave you a comment back to let you know that you actually won the free Piano de Voyage. All right, with all that said, let's dive right into the video. All right, so let's start by just taking a look at the first four chords of this progression. So here we've got F sharp minor 11, to B minor 11, to C sharp minor 11, to D major 9. Okay, there's already a lot to look at just in this first section here. So the first thing I want to talk about is just something you've heard me talk about on my channel before, and that is how much mileage we can get out of one single voicing just by being capable of moving it around intervallically. So we start with this voicing right here. We've got 1, 5, 9, flat 3, 11. So it's a minor 11 voicing, right? We've actually got the 11 on top as the melody note. Now when we move to the next voicing, it's actually the exact same structure, meaning it's 1, 5, 9, flat 3, 11. So when I talk about being able to move a voicing intervallically, that means taking this structure, moving it around to any key, and always having that same structure keep the same sound of the voicing regardless of what key you're in. So here we're just jumping up a fourth, and that's how we get that voicing. Now we actually do the same thing again, and we just go up a second. So our bass line is F sharp, up a fourth to B, up a second to C sharp. So that's really, really simple, all the same voicing, and that gives us some really nice motion. And then, just to kind of throw things off here a little bit, we land on a D major 9. So and that's the first four chords. Now in terms of our melody, we've got this nice ascending motion to get us to that last chord. So we can almost think of like we're really just trying to get from F sharp minor 11 to D major and have it make sense. So you could almost get rid of the chords in the middle, right? And it still works. It works really nice. But we're using that intervallic motion to get that going in between. Awesome. All right, let's keep going from here. Now, one thing that I'm actually really personally proud of is that when I originally recorded this little short for YouTube and Instagram, I actually improvised this melody and progression. Now, was I able to do this because it was magic? No, of course not. And one thing I wanted to just remind you of is that my new course, Reharm and Resolution Mastery, is still available and still at a discounted price because I'm still working on putting together some of the final content to go into that course. And a lot of the skills and techniques that I use to be able to do this stuff on the spot, you will find taught with clear step-by-step methodology in that course. So if you want to check that out, go to neojazzacademy.com/reharmonization. You can still get it at a discounted price for a limited time. Pretty soon, when all of the new content is ready to go, that price will be going back up. All right, let's jump back into the video. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the movement of the bass line. So we get from F sharp major, and then we arrive at D major. Next, we're going to say, okay, let's go from D major to somewhere else. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from D major to E flat minor, right? That's kind of our next harmonic phrase. Now, that's already a nice change, but we add this melody. Very sequential. Right? We're literally just here, down a major third, down a half step, down a major third, down a half step, down a major third, down a half step. And just using these little sequential pieces of melodic information already, in my personal opinion, make this sound more melodic. So what can we do with the chords? So right away we go from D major to the B minor. Okay, so we jump down a fourth. From the B minor to the F sharp minor. Okay. So that's really pretty too. We've got this kind of fourth motion going down with the bass line. So how is the bass line looking as a melody? So down a fourth, and then down another fourth from the A flat. So we have this nice bass line motion that goes from the very top, up a fourth, up a second, and then up a half step, and then you go down to the B, and then down a fourth, and then up a second, and then down a fourth. So we almost are moving up fourth, second, fourth for the first phrase, and then down with similar intervals in the second phrase. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, we kind of spice up the melody here a little bit, and we go. Okay, so that's pretty. So now we're actually kind of arpeggiating around the chords. The melody also moves more quickly. Now we're using eighth notes as opposed to just quarter notes. Also, we're using larger melodic intervals. And then, again, repeating that eighth note movement. So I'm loving this so far. All right, cool. Our final motion is pretty explicable. We've got D flat to G flat to B to E. So in a way, we land on a somewhat functional progression, at least in terms of the bass line. We're literally going around the cycle of fifths, going up and fourths here. So we've got D flat to G flat to B to E, right? So that fourth movement is actually probably very familiar to our ears. We just might be more used to it in dominant chords, right? And now we're doing all major. So let's take a look at the contour of this whole progression. So we have Now, I think a huge part of the glue here of this progression, though, is actually going to be the voice leading between chords. And some of you actually already answered that when I asked on my short, what makes this progression work? Well, we've talked about the melody, we've talked about the bass line, but how do our voices move from chord to chord, and how do we voice around the melody? So let's take a look here. So you'll see that we're keeping the voicings very, very similar to each other and keeping the hands from moving long distances. So an example of voice leading that would be bad in this case might be something more like this. Let's see. Now, the funny thing is, if I try to actually do bad voice leading here, it's tricky for me, not just because I'm used to using certain voicings, but actually because the melody itself, by keeping it on top of the chords, gives us some really nice voicing options. It kind of leads us into good places. So if we just took a really simple version of each chord, what we might actually be able to do is still have great voice leading here. Let's see. So I'm basically leaving out 11s and clusters here. So because we have a strong melody, we're almost immediately led to good voice leading just by following that movement. So that really demonstrates to me the importance of a pretty and strong melody that really takes you from point A to point B smoothly. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here on the channel, and I hope you learned some great stuff. Again, if you want a chance of winning a completely free Piano de Voyage, leave a comment on this video and leave some comments on the next videos up until I hit 100,000 followers, which I'm very excited about, and I'm excited to see who gets a completely free Piano de Voyage, which, if I can remind you, breaks into 4 pieces and fits in a backpack. So I'm a huge fan of this thing, and I'm excited for one of you to get one. I'll see you in the next video.